So, members, it is now 8:45, and we'd like to get moving on this. So the first order of business would be to elect a chair for
nominate Gerald Wally.
Gerald Wally has been nominated. Director Wally, are you okay with that nomination?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there further nominations for chair? For the third and last time, further nominations for chair? Hearing none, Director Wally declared as the chair for the Parcel Tax Roll Review Panel for 2021. Thank you. And now election for vice chair.
I nominate Director Lee.
Director Lee, would you accept that?
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Any further nominations? Gone. Hearing no further nominations. Director Lee declared vice chair for the Parcel Tax Roll Review Panel. Thank you very much. And now we'll turn this over to Chair Wally for the adoption of the minutes, I believe, from last meeting.
Move adoption of minutes from February 26, 2016.
Second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. Is anyone opposed to adoption minutes? Seeing no opposition, I'll call that motion carried. E, reports. Number 1, parcel tax roll, Kwathiaski Cove Sewer Extension.
Move receipt.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes,
Mr.
Mr. Chair.
Does the staff have anything to add here?
Which one of us do you want to take?
Oh, go ahead, Jim.
You go ahead.
I just, so this is the, we're talking about the report from the CAO, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I just want clarity for the record that basically we're talking about the expansion area only from the new properties, which was about 40 some odd properties. And we had agreed at some point many months ago to send out a letter to all of the expansion area properties to explain to them what this parcel fee was going to be, why and what it is, and how it would not affect them for certain reasons, or it might for other reasons. So I need to know for the record, did that letter actually go out to those property owners? Because I'm being asked, people are saying they never got a letter. Well, I'm pretty sure one went out. But could I please have Mr. Leach tell us, or maybe Mike Harmston, tell us, did a letter go out to the expansion area property owners explaining the parcel tax in detail?
Yeah, we sent something out on January 27th, and we did get calls back on it, so I'm quite sure it was received at least by a few people.
And on top of that, we have corresponded with the extension folks on multiple occasions in terms of the tax, because there was a number of people that could pay the lump sum up front, of which they did, and those that chose not to, it was communicated to them that it would be a parcel tax imposed on their property for a period of time, and they did that. And so we have not received any complaints, concerns from those people in terms of the parcel tax roll that we advertised out recently.
So, Mr. Chairman, if I may, just to confirm, the parcel tax roll that the committee, the review panel will be dealing with today for the Q Cove Sewer Extension is only includes properties that chose not to prepay their share of the capital costs. So that. Okay. Those are the only properties that you're going to see on the parcel tax roll this morning.
Okay, so the list that I looked at the end of the attached to the end of the report. It looks like all of the properties are at zero. Is that a misread on my part or what?
No, it is not, Mr. Chairman. I'm just going to pull this up on my screen so we can all see what you're referring to. And I think I can.
Every one of them is zero.
Just going to increase the size of this. Yeah, so because with the regional districts, there is not a requirement to actually stipulate the amount for each parcel because the requisition is in fact levied by the province, not by the regional district. So the budgetary amount that is shown for requisition in the Q Cove Sewer Extension budget for this year will be divided evenly according to your parcel tax bylaw between the, I forget how many properties are on this list. I think it's probably
30 some or 20 some.
Let's see down here, there are total of 32 folios that have not been paid their share of.
They have
So
not paid.
Yeah, so 10 of them paid the lump sum.
Yeah. So the total amount in your budgetary requisition for this year will be calculated and divided by the province when it levies the amount for these properties.
Okay, and that money will be because they didn't pay their initial buy-in fee, whatever it was, $4,000 or $6,000, and this is going to be a portion of that or that whole thing?
It pays back the debt on that. So the 4,200 times the 32 properties, we go out and borrow that money over, I can't remember if it was a 20-year term, and then the parcel tax will cover the debt for annually for that amount.
So, Mr. Chairman,
So
the money has been borrowed. We know exactly how much has to be repaid every year, principal and interest. So the money that is derived through parcel taxes will be applied towards that debt. The debt has been obviously reduced by the amount that was prepaid by the other 10 or so property owners. So this is a tax that is liable only against these properties.
Okay, and that money will only go towards the debt of the borrowing?
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't go into it doesn't go into anything that benefits us as a
No,
regional district.
Just goes to pay
for
the
the
debt.
property. Okay, so how do we, I'm unclear on how do we get the, like originally that 46 or 64 or whatever it was, that was supposed to be going into buy into the system to be able to pay for the capital infrastructure, right?
It did.
Yes.
Okay, so how does this in any way get to that issue?
So, Mr. Chairman, if I may, the only reason we have a parcel tax for this system is because not everyone prepaid. Had everyone prepaid, there would have been no need to borrow money through the MFA. So as a result, because there was still money that needed to be obtained to pay the bills for doing the project, and there was not sufficient amount received through prepayment because not everyone prepaid, we had to go out and borrow through the MFA. And this is simply the ability to prepay or to repay that amount on an annual basis, I believe over 20 years, by those properties who chose not to prepay.
Okay, so then basically the money that we borrowed is the money that is actually paying for the infrastructure.
A portion of it,
in part, yes.
Yeah.
In addition to those.
Sorry?
In addition to the money that was received from prepayments, yes, correct.
Okay, so all of that money gets lumped together. It pays for the infrastructure that we had to put in to extend the sewer system.
Yes.
And people that are paying on the parcel tax are the people that didn't pay
Right,
in
correct.
lump sum choice. Okay, just trying to make sure I understand this clearly because I'm getting asked about it. I don't want to give any kind of false information.
Okay,
Thank you for the answers.
Director Lee, did you have a further comment?
I have two questions. First of all, why don't we collect our parcel tax directly? Why are we having the province do it? Because I understand province charges 5% for that service.
If I could, Mr. Chairman, I can answer that. The regional district has no authority to directly tax residents. We have to go through the province to do that, which is called a requisition. And the province has made it quite clear through statute that regional districts do not have that authority. So,
Okay, so we have to go through the province. So my other question was, were there any other complaints on this file? Were there any complaints
We
received?
didn't receive any.
Okay,
and Mr. Chairman, I will confirm that once this report is received for the record, whether or not, and if there were complaints, what they dealt with.
okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? Calling the question on receipt. Anyone is opposed? Seeing none, I'll call that carried. Item B.
Mr. Chairman, before making a motion on B, I just would like to, for the record, state that the regional district did not receive any complaints with respect to this parcel tax roll. By complaint, I mean a complaint that met the statutory definition. Apparently, there was someone who emailed this office to say that the notice was not properly provided to them, blah, blah, blah. However, that property was not even part of the parcel tax area, and so we don't consider that to be a legitimate complaint. If there were other complaints that were sent, we have not received those.
Thank you, Mr. Yates. Could I have a motion on B, please?
I'll move B that the parcel tax roll for Kwathiaski Cove Sewer Service extension be authenticated.
Second,
Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. Any opposition? Seeing none, I'll call that carried. Could I see the agenda, please, Tom? There we go. Item number 2 in reports, parcel tax roll, Craig Water Service.
Move receipt.
second,
Any discussion?
I just have a question. Were there any complaints? But Tom will address that before we do B.
Yes.
Director Lee. All right, calling the question then on receipt. Is there anyone opposed? Hearing none, I'll call that carried. Item B.
Mr. Chairman, if I could dive in quickly, just to confirm for the record that we have received no complaints with respect to the Craig Road Water Service parcel tax roll for 2021 whatsoever.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah,
Yates.
I move B that the parcel tax roll for the Craig Road Water Service be authenticated.
second,
Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. Is there anyone opposed? Hearing no opposition, I'll call that motion passed. And the last item is termination.
So, Mr. Chairman, just prior to termination, if I may, so we will be we will be asking each of the members of the parcel tax roll review panel to sign off on the parcel tax rolls as authenticated, and we must do that before we can send that to the province. So we'll be trying to do that over the next short little while.
Thank you, Mr. Yates.
And if I could just jump in with one quick comment. So it said in the report on Craig Road Water that the debt will be paid off in 2026. So 2026, for anybody who might be watching this, is the last year you have to pay this parcel tax. Right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, can we have a motion for termination?
So moved.
second.
Director Ade was second, so thank you, everyone.
Yeah,